her call again, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson who's possibly with the daughter. Step out with this.
2412.
Veteran crisis hotline's calling in, so they have a female veteran's off her medication. She's at work to Safe Haven. Detecting 12, cycle check that one out.
6-1 bullet, 2-1 started, get shots going.
Officer still stands for talk? No. Offender in custody? Anyone else close, wait till you result, let me know. 10-5,
Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? Thank you for hopping in. Oh, we've been waiting so long to do this show for you guys. I'm so excited. What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy, what's happening?
Oh, nothing. Finally, the day is here, bro.
Yeah, it's taken a long time.
Finally, the day is here. Oh, I'm so excited to show everybody this stuff. I got to do some contribution call outs here real quick. Contributions that I missed during the trip. But I want to share these QR codes and kind of just discuss something for a few minutes. Earlier today, we did the show where we broke down all the Johnny Jacobs interviews. There's some stuff that I even missed, dude. And we'll kind of talk about it before we get into it. But we're also going to be checking out Flo's interview. Shout out Veronica. We're going to be sharing her channel. We're going to be checking out Flo's interview before we get to our footage. So I thought it was pretty cool. Now, we've pretty much listened to all of them before, and we pretty much know the gist of it. You know what I'm saying? But there's just a couple key things just to make sure, because it was like, holy crap, wait a minute. Um, I didn't even notice this myself either because we were just listening to it while we were out there, or whatever it may be. So we'll do that. But I'm going to share these QR codes real quick, so that way y'all can take screenshots of them, share them with your friends, put them out there in social media. Please do that for the family and for Micah. So, did you get some good sleep, man?
Sorry, I had you on mute. I found some. Anyway, about sleep.
Did you get some good sleep?
Kinda.
Kinda.
Not really.
Yeah.
It's news. I'm not gonna lie. It's I haven't felt that way as far as like energy wise.
Yeah.
It's just kind of hard to explain. But a long time ago, like when I first started the fire service, used to get like those energy kicks just from like going on so many calls back to back.
Yeah.
I was definitely tired, but as soon as I got back home, it was like everything would just like hit the brakes and it went slow. I'm like, this is it. Like we're doing it.
Yeah.
I kind of got a little bit of sleep, but I'm having more. It's just weird. I slept better on the road in the back of my little truck than I did when I got home.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My back's been hurting since I've been back. I'm sure you're feeling the same too, right?
Yeah.
All those miles.
Oh man, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a lot of miles, man.
Now that I can kind of talk about it, let's see.
We definitely took a hit on this last trip, dude, with maintenance and all the stuff involved with it.
Whenever I hit Georgia, that's when I kind of felt it in my back. I was kind of like getting annoyed, but just no matter how I had the seat positioned.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, you just wanted to get home so you could at least lay down.
For 5 seconds. It's like I just want to get out of this truck.
Yeah, and just not have to use any kind of muscle whatsoever in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting crabby. I feel you, dude, because I was crabby.
Yeah, I can feel it too. That's the word to say. I felt myself getting annoyed from it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I gotta get out of this truck.
Yeah, I was like, I think I got home about 3 a.m, something like that. Now 2, 3 a.m, somewhere around there. I just brought my. Usually, I'll come home and put my stuff together, so I don't have to do it when I get up the next day.
That's usually what I do.
After this trip, man, being out there for 3 months, you know what I'm saying? Just going out there every week and a half, being there for every protest. 3 months, it definitely takes a toll. And I was just like, I just brought my shit right inside the front door, and I went upstairs and went right to bed, man. I was like, screw that. I'll do it tomorrow. But shoot, I mean, even diving, dude, that had to take a shit ton of energy too. You know what I'm saying? So, we definitely give 150.
Normal diving. I remember back in the day, me and my buddy would push it, and we might do 5 dives in a single day, which is fine while you're diving. And then we both get in the car, depending on where we're at. Might be a 2-hour ride, might be an hour ride. And we both, as soon as we get in the car, we just kind of, all energy levels would be gone. And it would it would be a challenge to get back home.
Yeah.
So, not to mention off the boat, rigging stuff on the boat, diving on vehicles, marking it out to eat all day.
Right.
Well, I found over 20 cars, so
dude. Shout out, man.
I'll tell you everything in it.
Shout out. Over 20 cars, y'all.
It's over 20.
Over 20 freaking cars.
The majority of them are trucks and SUVs. It's kind of weird. But
well, we got that tarp now. We can take baby Angel out there on the boat with us now.
The tarp would be nice. It's more than a tarp. That thing's nice.
Huh, baby Angel? You could be a search kitty.
Get her a little harness.
That's right. Get her a little harness and ready to go. Paint her nails. Get her nails painted. Ready to go.
Instead of K9, I'm trying to think you come up with an acronym or something.
But we'll figure something out. She'll look badass too. We'll get her all decked out for sure. She's already got a shit ton of toys already. She's spoiled as hell. But I love her so much. All right. There's the QR codes like we always show in the beginning of the show. Wanted to share those real quick. I do need to get I want to say shout out to let me see here. Hold on. Where'd the picture go? There we go. All right. I want to say shout out to Jonathan Falker, Donna Suzanne, Barbara Salask, Beth D, Heather Cameron, Lisa Save the Bees, Trey, J.D. Delara, Veronica A. Jokester. Shout out to her. We're going to be watching her videos tonight. Definitely go sub. I'll be dropping the link in a minute. Becky McDowell, Misty Holcomb, Carrie Ann, KM Star 2023. And I also want to say shout out to Sherry Owens for the $4.99. Keep fighting for Micah as a DA survivor. Sorry I couldn't get the whole message. RC US $1.99. Thank you both. Happy Labor Day, and happy Labor Day to you all. And thanks for hanging out with us for a couple hours when we were heading back from the trip that we were doing. So thank you all. I wanted to say, you know, when we were going there, I can't shout you out while I'm on the road. I told you we would get you on this show in the intro, so I wanted to say thank you so much. Also, a contribution call out to Sarah as well. Thank you so much for becoming a member this evening. We'll definitely have some videos coming up for you. Now, when we get into the footage part in this segment of the show, we're not necessarily going to play the whole videos of all of our videos because we got a lot of footage for you. That's going to be for members and all that other stuff, and some public videos as well. But we're going to use the parts of our footage to show you guys what we're talking about when it comes to Johnny's story and why it's. If you watched the episode earlier, if you haven't watched it, definitely go check out the breakdown of all of his interviews because there's 5 pages of notes. If anybody was in the show earlier, hopefully you got your notes. Lot of stuff, lot of differences in the stories. Some of it the same, some of it not mentioned, some of it mentioned, some of it different. Definitely a lot of different stories, but when you hear that and then you see this footage and what we're going to express to you, you know, from what we basically felt from that atmosphere, a lot of things don't make sense whatsoever. So let me see here. I do want to share a couple screenshots here real quick before we get into Flo's interview. Now, this is from Johnny Jacobs himself. Okay. Hold on 1 second. So this is from Johnny Jacobs himself. Johnny Jacobs says, I'll tell you who could or maybe could have stopped this from happening to this godly, beautiful young lady. Now I'm having to live with the regret of at least going in and checking on her to see if anyone else was involved. When did he ever say that?
I don't remember that at all.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Let me explain because it's killing me, people. I was in my boat fishing and I went into a lake off the river. When I got to the back of the lake, I heard a faint crying, not loud. You're wondering, could I see anyone? I couldn't because trees were blocking my view. Hello? When we went back there, it's not like it's a long-ass trail, bro.
Oh, it's like right there.
Right.
It's just hard to get in there.
Yeah.
Not to give it all away.
No. But I really feel now that she could see me. Now, when it comes to people that he claimed about this earlier, this is in one of the interviews where Johnny Jacobs mentioned a couple. I don't know if they seen us or me. What do you mean us, Johnny Jacobs? And when it came, and then all of a sudden it morphed into the people on the boat, the 3 people on the boat, Trey. it morphed into the 3 people on the boat later on. But it's like, wait a minute, Johnny, you just said a couple, and you didn't know if they saw you or not. Well, the 3 people in the boat, you claim, you said, hey, did y'all hear that gunshot? And they said, yes, we did. Well, then you know they saw you because they responded to you. So who you talking about, Johnny, when it came to a couple people that you don't know if they saw us or saw me? Very interesting. Now he's saying this. So I just kept fishing. Then maybe 2 minutes I heard a gunshot. I said, oh my God, no, Lord, don't let it be. Just like all of his interviews, it's like a script. So there was just enough water going through the woods to where I could float my boat through. That's pretty damn accurate. As I was looking, I saw a little tote pack and a cell phone and glasses were out of the bag. So I picked up her belongings, walked around to see if I could see anything, and I didn't. I got real nervous, put belongings in boat, went to landing, loaded my boat up. As I was leaving, I saw that the Laws was there, told them what happened, totally skips.
Yeah.
He needed a lighter, and he was gone. That's when I found out what happened. Conveniently skips all that time going to get it. Why didn't you tell him that you left in a truck with your boat being hauled and that you went and got your car and had to get a lighter at Floyd's Grocery for like 45 minutes, dude?
It's a bit of a haul.
Like, why didn't you put that in there? It says, I have reached out to the family and they are getting done so wrong. I just can't believe. I just can't believe it, but people, this is so sad and wrong. I'm not condemning anyone, but I will say this, God knows all. More investigating needs to happen. Yet this gentleman is saying, don't nobody try and be no investigator. And I'm not no investigator, but you're saying more investigating needs to happen, exclamation point, exclamation point. I regret not checking on her, bro. I think you seen her. I think you seen her. Y'all say a prayer for me. Pray that family gets some answers in peace. Damn straight. R.I.P. beautiful young soul. For sure. Justice for Micah. Ain't that some shit? Oh my goodness, you weren't able to tell if there was another person there? And then let's just avoid it. It's crazy when you see that. So when we're looking at his story, he says, I went into this spot right here, which is what we did, right? There's him pointing with the pencil. I went into this spot right here. This is where I found her belongings, right there. Not a loud gunshot.
Man.
And then the crime just stopped. But this is what I was saying earlier, and we were out on location. Remember the stains on the trees. Okay, now Trey, when we were there, if that was 3 feet from the water to the top of the stains, right? If that was 3 feet, which I think it's about 3 feet.
I think it's about the same.
When we were there, I would say there was only 1 foot from them stains. Because it was a lot shorter. It was a lot smaller, and you'll see that in the footage tonight. That's why when you're hearing his interview and he's sitting there telling you, "Yo, it's lower than what it was then," in all these other interviews, he's talking about it's lower than what it was. Whenever you see in all the different interviews and you see the trees and you see the stains, This right here, when you see the footage tonight, you're going to see. That's why I feel like it was probably when we were there, dude. It's probably a blessing. I'm sorry that unfortunate things happened with the hurricane, but when it comes to the investigation that we did, I think it was a blessing that Hurricane Betty or Debbie or whatever came through and threw a bunch of water in there and put that water level back up to where it was around when Micah lost her life that day. And I think it was a blessing, man. I think it all worked out the way that it was supposed to work out. And I think when you guys see it, you'll see what I'm talking about because I will show you in different parts. Just take a photographic memory picture right here, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I want to know how the gunshot was faint.
One gunshot, as he said, all he heard. One gunshot.
Multiple casings.
There's the car. Now, we've already showed these throughout previous shows, but it's for tonight. So I wanted to share those real quick. Now we can get into, and if you guys are I know some of you, here, let me show these real quick too. I know some of you were asking about the cement bags. Let me share those for you guys real quick, because I know a lot of you have been asking the last probably 4 or 5 Micah shows. Let me share those here. All right, so this is the brand. There's different pictures, different angles, barcodes and everything. So you can take a screenshot of whatever you want. Just a different picture. That way you guys could take photos of it, whatever. Just a bunch of different photos. That's how they were when I found them. Now, when I went back there the 3rd time, somebody had moved them. I don't know who moved them. They were definitely spread out in a different area. So this is when I came across them. All I did was tap them to see how long they had been sitting there. The packages were in decent condition. The cement wasn't even wet and hardened up. It was still powder. This is how I found them. So I didn't even move them. I don't know who moved them. Just let you know, I didn't touch them except for patting them to see what kind of condition it was.
And you would think those would be ruined by now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's why when somebody said, I don't know where the barcode one went. I'll have to find it. I know I have it. Yeah, that's when somebody had asked, hey, are you going to go look for the cement bags? And it's like, no, especially after the hurricane. After the hurricane, I don't know. I don't even think that who knows what would have happened to him, honestly.
I don't even at this point, I'm sure they're maybe there, but when all the everything being submerged,
right, ruined beyond any kind of recognition, I suppose. All right, so we're gonna check out here. Let me drop Trey's channel again. If you're not subscribed, please go do so. We're gonna share Veronica's channel here. We're gonna check out Flo's interview in a minute, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that ready. Also, I'm gonna mention a couple things to see, because I missed them. And going through them today, when I was breaking all of them down, I was like, holy crap. When he, like Charles, I should say, the Charles guy, the kayaker.
Oh yeah.
Remember when he said that he deleted his call history?
Correct.
And he had to call Charles to figure out what time he called Charles. And he said 1:27 p.m. is when he called Charles and told him about all the crazy stuff that was happening at Lumber River State Park. Micah wasn't even there yet. The call came through at 2:54 p.m. Micah was still traveling from SC 41 to Lumber River State Park. Now he claims that he was fishing somewhere between 10, 10:30, 11, 11:30. And he claims he keeps referring to kayaker. Well, we know in one interview he was like Charles. Oops, I shouldn't have said that. And every time after he referred to him as the kayaker, created distance between him and the kayaker, acted like him and the kayaker didn't know each other, and they just happened to both be there at the wrong place at the wrong time. But he sure did call Charles to find out what time he called him to tell him about the weird stuff going on at 1:27 p.m. 1:27 p.m. Micah wasn't even there.
So he at least had his contact information for him.
He claims that he talked to Charles about the weird stuff going on at 1:27. She was around SC 41. It makes me wonder, Trey,
Yeah,
if Johnny called Charles because Charles was following Micah.
Could be. If he was at Lumber. Yeah, if he was follow trailing her, and then he was already, Johnny was already at Lumber River. Just give or take in that vicinity, seeing where they're at. Like you almost hear which time frame, something. But then to delete your phone calls for the day, and then have that timestamp wrong. They just say that no. Like,
A cheater deletes their phone calls because it doesn't save you space.
correct.
It doesn't save you space on your phone. So cheaters delete their phone calls. Or people that, don't want their phone calls to be read.
You just gotta get rid of something off your phone is what it boils down to.
So I think he got it mixed up. See, I think Charles misunderstood the question because, yes, Charles is the kayaker. Because when Johnny calls Charles to find out what time he called Charles about all the weird stuff that's going on at Lumber River to State Park, that should have been a call that was placed at 2:50 p.m., not 1:27 p.m. So when he called Charles and said, Charles, when did I call you about all that weird stuff? Charles is probably freaking out, and he totally doesn't understand the question. He just looks for when he first was called from Johnny, not the call that's supposed to corroborate the alibi. They fucked up. They slipped up.
They got their times wrong.
They slipped up. Crazy. Guys, got to check out the earlier show if you missed it. I'm telling you, it'll make all this stuff make even more sense. He claims multiple times that he was about 5 minutes into the slough. And that's when he heard the faint crying and the gunshot. 5 minutes into the slew, bro. There's another interview, most of them 5 minutes into the slew. On one interview, he states that he was in the lake and heard a faint cry in gunshot. If you're in the lake, bro, if it's a faint cry, then she must have been like bawling like crazy loud for it to be a faint cry. If you're 5 minutes in the slough, bro, if you're 5 minutes in the slough, you're pretty much there. I don't
say you'd be right up in that area.
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's crazy. So I'm interested. Everybody's like, oh, you got to check out this Flow interview. I haven't checked it out. I don't know. Have you ever heard? I haven't checked it out yet, but we're definitely going to. And then we're going to show you the footage. There's so many, the times that he mentions the items, but not the money. Plenty of times he says 500, all 500. And then one interview, he says 500 some, whatever. 500 and some. I don't know. After going through and breaking all those down, I'm even more suspicious and I have even more questions. And there's a lot of gaps, especially with all of those stories, told them, when he says to witness this, to see this, to hear this, when he's talking about himself and what he's been going through. I would never want even my worst enemy to witness this, to see this, to hear this. I've never been in the middle of something like this before. What were you the middleman for, right? What were you the middleman for? For the record, couldn't see anyone. And he says in Robson County, you just don't go check in on someone and run in on someone because you never know what's going on. And he said he feared for his life, but yet went that path in the slough to come across her black fanny pack in the dark, mucky woods that are dense as hell.
The bottom and everything just kind of blends together too. All the foliage, the water.
It really does. Only heard one shot. And he says himself, just like we showed you in that post, he says himself, it needs more investigation. It needs more investigation. That's a good question. How was he able to call Charles when you couldn't get a signal out there? That's a great question.
That is a weird thing. I don't know. I think it depends on what service you got. I never did try to make a phone call.
Yeah, that's true because I didn't have nothing. I kept looking at my phone. I was like, yeah.
Nothing. In certain spots, I could at least send a text, but you would get, 40 foot one direction and then just nothing. That's not a phone call. So it's definitely spotty.
Yeah. I might get a bar here and there, and then the next one.
Yeah. As far as the quality of the connection, though, I know, as far as data, there wasn't much. I tried loading up a video to see it, and it wouldn't work. So.
Well, I'm glad that we were able to get what we got done. Seriously, man. It was a lot. Especially when you're hearing gunshots coming from every direction, it reminds you of Sebastian Rogers searches. And it's just like, what the hell, man? We're just trying to find the truth.
It is weird. I would like to see property lines as far as what's the park, whose property is what. But to have that sound shots come from
different guns too. Different guns
come from different directions. It's like there's a reason that you only shoot YouTube, but do that during certain directions because you got zingers and accidents do happen. So,
well, and also that shotgun sounded muffled, which was odd. A muffled shotgun out there, that was very odd. I'm not gonna lie. So we wanted to do more. It was already getting late. You know, like I said, I don't think we made it back to like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. It was a long day. 2 Slim Jims and a bag of chips is all we had. So it was a long day, but it was like, you know what, we made it this far, we're safe. There's some weird stuff going on. Let's go ahead and bounce. And it was weird too, because right when we got to the boat dock,
oh yeah,
the boat dock, it was crazy. We almost thought, I'm not gonna say it, it was just odd.
I'll say it. I just thought something bad was gonna happen.
We did. Yeah,
I was thinking someone done went through the truck and stole a bunch of stuff. I don't know. I'm not trying to push an agenda or whatever, but whenever someone's fishing, just chilling and fishing, and all of a sudden we're coming up, and
they're
like,
just mean mugging us.
Yeah. Catch anything?
Just
and I'm
mean
like,
mugging.
no. And I said, they're in there, kind of a chuckle, and then gone. And they left. Like, as soon as we got close, I'm like, why would you leave now?
They just both scooted too,
Both.
quick as hell.
Like, they didn't have problems sitting there fishing as we're coming up. They're watching us. But as soon as we got close, they left.
Yeah.
So,
I could sorry, man.
You're good. I really thought something was going to be going out of the truck. I was like, went to start it, and I'm like, this might be it.
I know. I could sense the mean mugging before we even got there. I took my hat off, took my search crew shirt off. I was like, all right, we're looking like normal ass fucking people at a fishing boat, man. If we're getting mean mugged like this, you know.
Yeah, it was a little odd.
Yeah.
I mean, they seem nice as far as catch anything, but it was just the whole body language and then leaving, bouncing as soon as we came up. That's what got me.
So. It was crazy. It's like right after that question, it was like they were leaving when they asked the question too. They weren't even standing there. They were like halfway bouncing, asking as they're walking away real quick. And it's like, what the hell? Were they like a call out crew?
Yeah.
Hey, they're back, you guys. You know. I mean, shoot, dude, as soon as we pulled in, we had the park ranger pull up to us and ask us, what did he ask us?
He said, you're going to go, oh, that's a weird thing to say on YouTube. He said, you're going to go catch him. He didn't say that, but he said, you're going to go catch him. And I was just like, yeah, that's what I said. And then you're like, hey.
Hey, man, I was like, hey, man, you remember me, such and such, you know? And he's like, oh, yeah, I remember you. I was like, hey, man, well, have a great day. You know? Like, hey, we got some kind of familiar. Hey, well, I ain't from here, you know, but let's create some kind of familiarity here. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen each other before. We helped each other out. Like, hey, thank you. I appreciate it. You know,
make it more reliable.
Yeah.
Energy.
We're not just some strangers popping up in a boat.
I have the opposite. I don't like to talk to nobody. I don't know when to know what I'm doing.
Well, because it was a long ways away, you know, from that boat's home. That's all. So they were like, huh? What the hell is this? What the hell is this?
That's what it was. At first it is. It's like, okay, there's some cats going fishing. And then it's like, damn, they drove a long way to come to this little area. So I get it.
Well, somebody's mentioning some stuff. Listen, we don't even know what. That's why we were saying when we were there, and I think we even said it in that little video that we put out last night for everybody. I think we even said it then, like, hey, man, maybe the park property is on this side, and that's private property over there. We didn't know for sure. We didn't know for sure. We didn't have the property line. So, but what I did is I took screenshots of all the different places that we were at from the Google map on my phone, so that way you guys could actually see, and then maybe we could figure out what the property lines were and figure out what it is.
We got 4-wheelers, shots.
Yep. ATVs.
Yeah.
Real close. Pistols. And shotguns. And I didn't think you could muffle one either.
I have no idea what
Dude, it sounded like a muffled shotgun to me.
It was just like a You'll hear it. Or people already heard it.
Maybe I don't know. I have no idea. All right, we're gonna check out this Flow interview here. I think it's like an hour and 15 minutes or something like that. Yeah, we'll get into the property lines in a future episode. This is more about Johnny's story and what he's trying to tell everybody. If you missed the show earlier, I'll drop the link in chat. This is about what he's trying to tell everybody, and we're gonna show you. We're giving you that front seat view as we were there, so you guys can see this is what he's talking about, because I think it's very important when it comes to his story and what took place. Look, when you already changed your story multiple times, when you delete your phone calls, when you try and distance yourself from the other person that gives you an alibi and says that he knows you didn't have nothing to do with it, and you know he didn't have nothing to do with it.
It's very questionable.
Very questionable.
It's just like, there's one thing I'll say. Like, anyway, there can be a couple things where it kind of doesn't make sense, but if you just keep adding to it, it's like something's not it.
There's a lot that don't add up.
There's untruthfulness somewhere, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, we're gonna check this out. All right, this is, I want to say shout out. Here's her channel, Veronica. Thank you so much. We're gonna go ahead and go through these Flow interviews, and then we're gonna show you the footage and basically break everything down for you as you're seeing it, as we've seen it. All right, here's this interview, Flow's interview, part 1. Then there's a part 2, and then there's a part 3. Let me see here.
All right, this is Flo's interview with the Fisherman, Johnny. So we're going to see, I haven't listened to it yet. So we're going to see what all is said and what kind of new answers or information we can get with this interview.
Set you up. I just want the truth. I don't have no reason to say anything to set up.
Oh, 1 second. I'm sorry I missed it. I want to say Kib Kitty contribution call out here real quick. Let me see. 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. And another 5 gifted memberships to Narked Divers. Thank you so much, Kib Kitty, dropping the 5 and 5, keeping it alive. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And thank you all for your support. Trust you. It means everything to us. We wouldn't be able to do the things that we're doing and showing you without your continued support. It's your support that really does get us to these places so we can bring you there with us as we're doing this work and investigations. Appreciate it. And searches.
It adds up quick. Just some fuel.
Oh, big time. Especially that trip. Myrtle Beach.
That one was
that's a long one.
Yeah, I underestimated. It wasn't crazy expensive, but it was more than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't terrible, but
what does, trust me, dude, is
the tolls.
3 months.
certain states, I tried to avoid the tolls, and they're proud of their tolls.
Oh yeah, and they'll get you, and then it goes up. It goes up double and then double and then double if you don't pay it each week. And
then God forbid you get off or something to get back on. You're paying again.
You're just trying to save 20 minutes, you know.
It was bad.
Trust me, I know, dude. 3 months of it, man. I'm ready though. I'm ready to search for Sebastian. I'm ready to do some boot searching again. Get that boat going up here and getting some boat searches too. We need you to come out on some boot searches, buddy.
We'll get some good searches in. I got different boots for boot searches.
Yeah, come on, let's do some boot searching, bro.
I got my swamp boots and I got my duty boots. So
yeah,
when we get searches like that, I'll be in duty boots.
Well, I'll get you the shirt that I have. I'll make you a shirt. You know, the one that I wore during our last trip. That special.
I got my yellow one.
Oh, I gave you one of those special fabric ones?
Oh, the
Not
soft.
the hood,
No,
not the
no.
hoodie. No, the shirt that I wore during our Myrtle
I got-
Beach work.
I don't have that one.
I'll make you one, man. You can come out for some boot searches. We'll put some boots on it. Get your name on it. Because we got to be out there, fluorescent and shit. I know you like your camo. Look at you. You're
I
wearing
like
camo
the
right
blood.
now.
Whenever we're up in there, I could. All I needed was something to cover my face. I would have been gone.
Dude, we definitely needed something to cover our face when we went back where that spot was at, where Johnny went. Oh my lord, you definitely needed some kind of like bee mask or something. It was nuts, you guys. The bugs that were back there, it was so crazy.
I don't like to be seen whenever I'm searching.
Crazy.
I'm the total opposite.
Are you?
Yeah, like
I just think about hunters, man.
they ain't supposed to be hunting whenever this going on.
I just think about hunters, dude. I don't want to get shot. You know what I mean?
What? Ain't no turkey, right? It's almost turkey.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. Like they might just see your head or something, and who knows?
They don't need to be, I never understood. People don't need to be hunting to do that stuff. Like I peppered him in the face. I thought it was a turkey. It's like he was wearing yellow. I never understood that.
Oh hell no, man! No, bright yellow, bright pink, bright orange, bright green.
Yeah, people are funny.
That's what we're doing.
They're just itching, is what it is. They're waiting for something to move. They didn't look to see what it was and just pow.
We ain't hunting for gators, man. We don't want to be hunted. That's the thing.
Well, you won't be if you're in anyway.
In a boat, it's different, man. But out in the woods, man, you got to wear bright colors, bro. Come on, man. You got to be safe.
Well, you are safe. Well, my thing is I don't want people to see me. I want to be able to see them. So you're in a group of 50 people searching. You'll see. You just kind of drop back. You see all the high vis. No one even knows you're there. You'd be surprised what people do.
Dude, you're not wearing a ghillie suit, man.
You find out who's really searching.
You're not wearing a ghillie.
If I could, I would. You don't even know. I'd be like, okay.
You're not wearing a ghillie suit.
I'm like, we need those people on our team. They're really searching. And these are people over here. They're just kind of doing circles on their phone, not doing nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you one, man.
A ghillie suit.
No, I'm gonna make you a bright shirt,
so
that way when they're out. Because listen, I don't want to get hit. Because
it is turkey season's coming up pretty quick. So.
I know, dude. Come on, we're gonna be out there in the fall. I'm gonna be out there in the winter if need be. Trust me, man. And I ain't trying to get hit, and I don't need you to get hit.
No.
Listen, because I definitely listen. We're gonna be out there searching, man. I'm not a medic, all right? Okay, so I'm not a medic. I'm just gonna tell you that straight up. I could, we can cut T-shirts and all that stuff, but I don't know anything beyond that. So, just want to play it safe. All right. Sorry, you guys. All right, we're gonna get back to this interview. Shout out Veronica. Thank you very much, and appreciate you doing this for everybody. One second, I'm going to pause it again real quick. I do have to call out RC contribution call out. Thank you so much for your contribution. Really do appreciate you guys going. Thank you. It was a task, that's for sure. It was a long trip, been a long trip, and it was definitely a lot of hard work, especially when you're trying to be that kind of aware. That takes a tremendous amount of energy already. Trying to be that kind of aware. I'm just glad everything went good, and I'm glad that we were able to get in, do our work, get it done properly, and get back safely. That was the main thing. So that was thank you all for your kind energy and prayers that you said for us, because we definitely need those when we're going out to these locations. JLR did a video on it already. Told you it's one of the most dangerous counties in the United States, and it's not for they tell you.
Just real quick, while we're there, I always have this thing where people watch and lurk. I've seen a lot of people just doing the checking stuff out, like checking us out, checking people out, like everybody there. I can't say everybody, but
the whole drive.
A lot of people there that do the look, like they're there, but they're not enjoying the moment.
Yeah, the whole drive, dude. We were getting mean mugged. Wasn't that crazy?
Like people
Like
were just
we got like 30 minutes out. We started getting into once we turned off, where Anor is or whatever, and we started to head a little bit north. As soon as we turned there, all of a sudden, it was nothing but mean mugging from the people that were living out in the country. They'd see us driving by, and you could tell their eyebrows were like going like this, and I mean, it was nuts. Mean mugged? What's mean mug? When somebody's eyebrows go like this and they're just giving you this dirty ass look. I don't know. Explain it, man.
It's hard to do.
Explain mean mug.
A mean mug would just be about body language and energy as far as just, I don't know. Everybody has a different mean mug, but if I didn't know you and I was checking you out, I might just be kind of giving you the death stare. It's hard. You can't even fake it, though. That's one of those things you got to be.
Yeah, like a mad dog look.
Yeah, mad dog look. There we go, Yoli.
Yeah.
Mad dog look. That would be better.
Like Biff Tannen,
Biff?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Buford. No, it was Buford. Yeah, it was Buford. Buford Tannen.
Yeah.
Buford Tannen. Yeah, Buford Tannen. All right. Back to this interview here because we do got to get to that footage for y'all.
Oh, and after some research and some other findings and things sent to me, I'm also thinking that the fisherman, like, he was involved but not involved. Like, I think he was set up to be like someone to maybe take the fall or like distraction or something like that, if that makes any sense. So let me know what y'all think. I know, like, all his stories and all his encounters that he's talked about hasn't all added up, or things have been changed, or things added, taken away, or whatever, like, at the beginning he didn't say anything about the $500, but then he did. So, but like I said, I haven't watched this yet. I was waiting to watch it with y'all, so let's get back into it.
Record my mess, what I said, and then go on TikTok and pay to record without me giving them permission to do that. I don't do that, man. I'm straightforward.
Oh, and if y'all on TikTok or anything, y'all go show Flo some love. He is really good.
Who is the lady that was talking in the background? I'll have to pay for this membership, I have to pay for this membership to hear it.
I don't like it. I know how it can be. I know how it can be. You muffled. I'll be honest with you. I've been on phone the entire phone. I'm not lying to you. It sounds like it's echoing now. Wow. So, I mean, what's been going on strange? I'm going to tell you what, a lot of people, I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of people was on your side, and then when the story, now, I'm not saying you changed it. I mean, from what I heard, it sounds changed, but you said people manipulated whatever you said. But whenever it kind of started changing, that's when people, started, what have you heard that has changed? Like, I mean, I don't, all right, I ain't never been involved in nothing like this, you know what I'm saying? And brother, let me tell you something. My leg was all tore up, I don't know what you heard to say. I'm going to tell you. I mean, people tend to run with this stuff. Right, no, they do. First, everybody was under the impression that you had gave the stuff up immediately, the belongings, and then it came out later. It came out somehow that you had took the belongings, went to the store, it came back, and it got real crazy. That's when people start saying, "Hold on." I did. I left. Some man, I know the belongings are there. But by the way, man, there's no way.
Now, there's this lady, I don't remember her name, but one of y'all might know who I'm talking about. But she's on TikTok, and I don't remember if I've seen her on YouTube or anything. But I was in the live one time, one of her lives, and I had asked a question about the Fisherman, and she got real defensive about him. And, like, I don't know, it was just weird. And then it was somebody else too. Oh, she was talking about the maintenance man. She was saying that the maintenance man that worked there just liked to run his mouth and that he was lying. But if I'm hearing this right, Johnny, right now, the Fisherman is saying that he did leave. He did, in fact, leave and come back.
And he did. He said that with the PI. He left.
I mean, we don't have a signal out there. So
Remember, he said there's no signal out there, but he called his friend Charles when he was on the boat.
did she call with no signal? Hey, bro, I don't know. Okay. I mean, I really don't feel like, I don't feel like that was her, to be honest with you. It sounded what?
Sounded forced to me, my opinion.
Robotic? Oh, robotic, like the voice? I reckon that's what they call it, that AI. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you talking about the 911 thing. Yeah, for sure. I believe it's possible, which is why I said if you 100% ain't got nothing to do with it, if you just especially come forward with me with whatever info you have, I mean, it'll show that.
And I know too, Johnny has even said before in past interviews that he thinks that that it was foul play. Like he said that he don't think, I guess, like she did it, but there was foul play. And he even mentioned too that he found out that the JP's attorneys had
Right.
land that was backed up to that part.
Right.
And there was something else. I guess when I think of it, I'll pause it again.
You had nothing to do with it, but if you're not saying nothing, then you putting yourself in there with the bad guys. You know what I mean?
Oh, the 3 people that came out that was on a boat. You had the kayaker, and then you had the 3 people that was on the boat. And but it still don't make any sense though, because where did these 3 people come out from? Because remember, Johnny
Or
said,
the couple.
did y'all hear that? Or did y'all hear that shot, and they said, yeah. But remember, there was supposedly 2, but only 1 was heard. So, I don't know, it just gets confusing. Stimpy? Stimpy? Stimpy?
I've been keeping in contact with this family, bro. With the family? Yeah, say it. Hey, tell everything. This your chance. I'm recording it. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna go over it with you when we get up. I don't have to run and try to make. I want to clear you. If you innocent, I want to clear you. So.
And that's all we're saying when we're saying, hey, man, come talk to us after we did our investigation and listen to all your statements.
Like, just like all the holes are. Tell us exactly, play like everything. Just break it down. If nothing happened as far as you being involved, maybe you've seen something, you're scared as hell. Like, just tell us where we're wrong and tell us so we know what make it make sense.
Fill in the gaps.
Yeah, like just kind of say why would you leave? Like, unless I have my ideas of why I would leave an area like that after something, but I probably wouldn't have came back. If I thought that I maybe seen something I shouldn't have seen, I'm leaving and I'm not coming back. And you ain't gonna hear from me. I mean, if I was scared, but maybe you got to change your heart. I don't know. But then why would you take the stuff?
Why would you not drop it off when you left and not drop it off when you came back? And when the only reason that he said that he is even telling people, I turned it over to the law. Bro, you were asking somebody. If you were turning it over to the law, you would have went to the front office, or you would have went up to the law when you got there. You went up into somebody with an unmarked truck that wasn't in their uniform because they were on call and got called in to fly a drone and you didn't know they were law enforcement and you had to turn it over because you asked the dude if he knew Micah Miller or not, because you probably wanted to see who in the hell Micah Miller was, so you knew if you could keep the purse or not.
That's
And all of a sudden, oh shit, I didn't know the law was until they did the drone. You had to hand over the bag at that point, the fanny pack.
Yeah, it could honestly as much. I don't know how the park rangers were there when you were first there, but as far as them being observant of who's in and out, it would have been easy to just take her stuff to the park rangers.
They're right there. They're
Yeah,
they're around.
literally right there.
They that one park ranger, it's not very big, y'all. It's literally a couple small loop in parking lots, and it's really not that big at all. They literally patrol that little path. They go up and down a couple times, take a look around, and it's very often. Like I think when we were there loading up and unloading, we saw them 3 separate times just coming through the parking lot to take a look. So yeah, they're easily accessible. They're right there. That too. Why? Shout out to Sony over there on Facebook. Fisherman said the police were there when he left to go get a lighter. Why not just exactly?
Yeah.
Why not drop it off at the office when you left? If you need to go get a lighter, give me a break. But if you need to go get one, okay, drop it off on the way. I'm sure somebody has a lighter. You know?
Oh yeah, someone. It's the fishing area. There's people up.
If you really cared about this girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what happened. Bullshit. You heard somebody crying. You heard a gunshot. You were back there. You found a bag. You obviously felt something bad had took place. Oh, Lord, no, I hope not. But yet you're going to claim you don't know what happened. Something happened and somebody's purse was in the middle of the woods where you shouldn't have been. It's called foul play. You turn that shit in ASAP. You turn it in ASAP, and then you come back in a different vehicle and don't even mean to reach out to law enforcement asking who Micah was because you wanted suspicious. I mean,
yeah. Hold on now.
Right, man.
It's like
And that's
running into law enforcement and then saying, "Yeah, it ain't what it looks like," basically, because he wasn't expecting to talk to law enforcement because he would have had. I think he was trying to circumvent the process. If he knew law enforcement was there and all that, and then just approached that unmarked car.
he didn't. He pulled right up to this guy behind his truck, and when he said, "Hey, do you know Micah Miller?" and the guy said, "Hey, how do you know her? Get out of your truck or get out of your car."
Yeah.
And he said, "Ho, ho, 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 hold on,
Yeah.
sir."
Whoa.
And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden I saw the drone. I could tell. Then I knew he was the law because I saw the drone. That's why he was like, look at, hey, this dude in the truck. He must be a local. Hey, buddy.
That's probably what.
Know a Micah Miller? Because he wanted to know if he could keep the fucking purse.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the guy's like, "Who are you? Hey."
It's like you said the key word, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently not keyword enough. It's anyway.
Well, the interesting thing is when you break it all down, Johnny talks a lot. He says a lot of things that don't that they contradict each other and from this interview to that interview, but he also tells you a lot of truth.
A little bit of bits and pieces.
Oh boy, and there's a lot of bits and pieces to tell you.
He tells it without telling on him. The way he tells it. He's not telling on himself, but he is.
He slips.
Yeah, it's just
He
on a
slips.
slip. He's like add a little piece here, and then it's like, well, that don't sound bad.
Like the couple, he didn't know if they saw. I didn't know if they saw us or me.
Yeah.
What do you mean us, Johnny?
Who is we?
What do you mean us, Johnny? You and Charles? Because you called Charles out there, or Charles was meeting you out there, or Charles was following Micah from SC41, or was Micah following Charles? And was Charles part of the lure? Why would all of a sudden Charles be going back there in a kayak where Johnny was at an hour before that, and then all of a sudden bump into a log, and all of a sudden she appears?
It's the whole thing. I don't know. We'll get into that, but why the kayak?
Yeah.
You'll see.
Yeah, so we just want to ask you some questions, man. Me and Trey, I'd like to do it with Trey. If you ever want to talk, Johnny, we would love to talk. Me and Trey would love to talk, ask you some questions. We each have some questions of our own in different fields or whatever, and we would we just want you to fill in the gaps because there's a lot of gaps, bro. A lot of gaps.
I'm just curious about certain. You asked the certain questions and I'll ask certain ones, but mine's more or less about the boat, water, and
that's what I'm saying.
What he's running, how he's running it, where he's sitting, how
shit that I don't know nothing about. You know what I mean?
Just simple stuff. If you're in the sticks, you're gonna be like, look, that makes sense. Like if he could tell me that, I'm like, that makes sense. But until I just don't understand how you're specific about someone else's boat, but you're not specific about your boat.
Right. Kind of like a canoe.
Yeah, but I have an 8-foot aluminum boat. It's a Sea King from the 1940s, sitting in my yard. I can tell you all about it. But then I got a 14-foot aluminum John. Anyway, I don't understand why he can't be specific about his own boat, the one that he was on that day with the trolling motor. Like, what kind of boat is it? Anyway. Because if he would say that, it might make sense, but
it don't, man.
It don't matter.
I can't wait to show him this footage. Like when it comes to this story, like I said, if you missed the breakdown, I wanted to take extensive notes. It was about a 4-hour show. I wanted to take extensive notes, and I've thought, why don't we do it together as a community? And then that way we're all kind of more informed when it comes to all of his statements and events that he described that day when we're going to be showing you this footage. So if you did miss that earlier, definitely go check that out because it will enhance the understanding of this episode even more, especially when we get into this footage. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue to play this interview here. June 14th is when this took place. June 14th. The other interviews were all in May.
I record your answers. I'm saying, but I'm not doing them with it. I'm telling you, because we're doing an interview. I don't want to say something you said is not accurate. Hello? Yeah, no, that's what I'm telling you. I'm trying to talk about the things that I have done, man. Go ahead. That's good because I would like to put that out there. Go ahead. I really don't. If you just gonna come back and say, well, here it goes again. You know what I'm saying? Here it goes again, telling my brother. No, I'm saying, listen, John, if I was out to get you, I would be doing it. Okay, listen to me. So listen. They hear me going back in. They want to say, no, man, but what I'm saying is, if you've been helping the family, that's the thing. I'm the one, as soon as I got home, I heard you say, what kind of a crazy person would do what they do. And when I got back to the house, he did me like a ton of breaks. Where did I go in there after I heard a gunshot? Yeah, that was the kind of part. I don't think with the gunshot, I don't even know what she was killed with. I don't even know what type of gun it was. Okay. The gunshot sounded to me like a small. It sounds like a firecracker? Okay.
A firecracker. A firecracker.
There are some shots that were pretty far off from where we were at. And it wasn't faint.
Well, the one that sounded like a muffled shotgun, not that
Yeah.
it was a shotgun, but that's the only thing I can compare to a noise that we heard out there, but it didn't sound like a firecracker. A firecracker. Like a black cat?
Yeah.
Not a bottle rocket, like a firecracker. Dude, if you were in the slough and it sounded like a firecracker, that would be a gun with a silencer on it.
There's some misconceptions about silencers. Man, I don't know if this is YouTube, so I'll be careful when I say how I say it, I guess. But I'll be saying I'm trying to tell people how to do something.
There's different silencers. There's like
Well,
semi and
there's ammunition as far as
suppressor.
the grain that you use. You can't just use certain ammo, or else they'll still be like pretty loud. And it depends on what type you're using.
Well, yeah, there's different kind of silencers. There's some that are suppressors. There's silencers. There's mufflers. There's mufflers. There's all sorts of different,
depending on your
especially with a pistol. And you can pretty much 3D print anything nowadays when it comes to attachments, to even alter the rate of fire for weapons. I don't know what would make a weapon sound like a firecracker if somebody is in that slough.
Like
and
what I was
they
trying to
hear
get
it.
at, even silenced ones are still pretty loud.
Oh yeah,
Is what I was trying to get at. Like just to kind of make sense. You can, I guess some people don't know though.
Well, this is why I bring it up, because remember, there was muzzle marks on her head. The medical report. So is it that close to your head that it would muffle it like a firecracker, or could it be that the muzzle marks on her head were from some kind of suppressor silencer?
And there was
I'd have to look at the pictures.
Yeah,
because if you're in the slough, bro, and you hear a gun, come on, like it's got, if you're comparing it to a firecracker, it's got to be a silencer.
It would have to be.
It has to be.
And I found different.
And for you to not see it, come on, dude. For you to not see it,
There's different. Oh, there's different. Yeah. That area is not that big.
It's crazy, y'all. A firecracker. I haven't heard that one. Or did we? I don't think I did.
I've never heard him say anything about it.
I don't think I did hear firecracker.
No,
all right. Let's see what else he says here.
Yeah, it's real strange, man. So tell me this: when you got the belongings, right? You said that. Explain to me how you said you went back to the store, or just explain it to me, because what happened is people put it out there so messy that it make people people can't understand it. Me, people listen to me because I break it down so you can understand it, so it can't be misconstrued.
Camo.
I'm sorry. I have to lie.
You thought the people in the boat was what? Yeah, your phone is bad, man. You hear me? I gotta get you better now. Can you hear me now? Yep. Okay, cool. My phone don't even do that. Oh, man, it just sometimes you start sound muffled, like you can't, like phone on your cheek or something. But go ahead. That's what I want to do. But anyway, as far as the people on the boat, you know, I've been seeing what people said that the people in the boat, 3 people that were in the boat, came out from where my body was found at. No, it didn't. They was out in the river fishing. They went in. Okay. You was the only one in the slough. I figured the reason why they came back into the slough is because they heard the gunshot. So when they came in there where I was at, I asked them, I said, did y'all hear that gunshot? They said, yeah. I said, well, I heard a crime, you know, a gunshot, and the crime stopped.
Dude, he's saying he met them as they were in the
Going.
slough already. They were coming in, the 3 people. The guy up front, the girl he says is the daughter in the middle, and the dad in the back seat.
So he's saying they were coming in as he's going out. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, he was leaving. He said right here he was leaving the slough.
Okay.
And they were in the slough going where he was just leaving.
And then he's like, did y'all hear those gunshots?
Right.
Gunshot.
What the hell are they going in the slough for? I thought he passed them at the lake.
That's what I thought. Because when we were out on the lake, that's what he was saying. Whenever you and me were out on the river.
What?
That's what he was saying. It was like, it's almost like, did you hear? It's almost as if like, did you hear the gunshot that just happened while I was back in there? I'm not trying to like say that, but I don't know. That's just weird. Did he said gunshot right on this one? Just one gunshot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the crying stopped. So Lynn J. Wow. Sounds like he was caught doing something.
The truth is stranger than fiction. I don't know.
Hey, Charles, what time did I call you and tell you about all this crazy shit that was happening? 1:27 p.m., Johnny. Thanks, buddy. I deleted all my calls.
Yeah.
Yo. Wait till you see this footage, you guys.
That's what he said. See, that's what he said Charles said that to him. Listen to this again. 12:30 of the video.
If there was anybody in there with her, they probably seen you coming in there. Now, remember when we were breaking down the video earlier and he said there was a couple people, I don't know if they saw us or me.
Yeah.
And then when he was being asked more about it, he then changed it to the 3 people on the boat that he said they heard, which is the people that were in the slough already when going into it when he was leaving. Like, your people ain't lining up, bro. Your story ain't lining up. You're placing different time periods, the same people in different spots at the different times in the same time. And, bro, your story was supposed to be 5 sentences that you probably had to stick to, and it has morphed into 10 because you had to add 5 more just to try and keep your lies straight, man. That's the thing about a lie. You have to keep lying.
And then you forget.
Yeah, and then
you forget what you lied
eventually,
about.
no. Yeah, it becomes your own truth, right? Dude. Johnny's got some questions to answer, man.
You pick up a blow? Man, I don't know about all that now. I said, I hope not. I'll tell you what, Trey. Everything clearing this mess out, they've done a good job of them. And I know you keep saying, where's the fish? Where's the fish? Well, that's all I was out there doing was fishing. I don't know. That Joker Miller, I didn't even know the girl was real name until I looked at the license real good because I didn't have my glasses on. But I got that call from talking with the law and everything.
He couldn't even read her name because he didn't have his glasses on. How in the hell do you see a black fanny pack out in them mucky ass woods?
Well, there's a difference between being far-sighted and nearsighted, but everything blends together out there, so I don't know, man.
50 Shades of Fishy Fisherman Story of Lies.
Because you asked me if I seen anything, and I'm just like,
What
dude,
the hell?
everything's super dark. Everything just blends together, literally between the water, the land, and the trees.
Right.
Just
And the water is so reflective too.
oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. It Johnny. Johnny. This is I don't know. Hopefully he gets asked. I mean, there's some questions here, but honestly, Johnny's just
Fishing.
blurting shit out. He's not really being asked the right questions so far. I don't know. You gotta quit being, don't make it be a puff piece. You gotta listen. We're just trying to be about the truth. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I wouldn't even let him talk.
Bullshit.
I wouldn't
Skip
let
the
him talk.
bullshit.
I would ask specific questions based off of what he's already said.
We don't need you to ramble, man.
Exactly.
Skip
Just
the
be like,
bullshit.
"Look, these are the things that I need to know. Everything else, maybe we can talk afterwards, like ramble. But what kind of boat were you on that day specifically? How many feet? How's the draft? Is it aluminum? Is it a canoe? What kind of trolling motor do you have? Like, is it in the back of the boat? Just some simple questions that would make sense, make things add up.
I got simple questions that'll, it's about making it add up.
Did you catch any fish that day? Like, honestly, did he catch any fish that day? What was he fishing for?
Yeah, why
didn't
you?
What kind of line did you use? Do you have a fishing license in that state? I don't know, just some real good
Oh, I'm
questions.
sure he does. I'm sure he does. I think he's selling his boat because he needs he needs money for.
Dude, that's
No,
some
for real.
weird stuff.
I think he needs money for an attorney. That's why he's selling his boats.
That ain't gonna
I think
be
that's why he's selling it.
That amount of money is not going to get you much attorney. I'll just tell you that from experience.
I already feel like he's probably been under investigation since everything started being investigated, honestly. And I think he needs money for an attorney because he's being investigated. Dude,
I would
just because you got away with it in Robson County doesn't mean you're getting away with it from the fucking FBI, bro. And this shit right here, none of this stuff makes sense, man. It don't take any FBI agent can walk in and be its first damn day and look at this shit and go, you guys, come on, man. A dude on his first day could look at this breakdown and go, you guys, and look at this footage we're going to show you and go, you guys, yeah, we need to talk
You
to
may-
Mr. Jacobs.
You may as well save your money on that one though, because typically the 3-letter agencies have a 95% conviction rate. So it doesn't matter if you're innocent or guilty on that one. You may as well do your time, because
127, Trey.
literally the time.
I deleted my phone calls, so I needed to call Charles, and he told me it was 127.
Central time.
The two people, I don't know. They might have saw us. I don't know. They might have saw us. I mean, or me.
That would make sense.
I came back in a different vehicle, Trey.
Yeah, they didn't see you in this one.
I'm probably being investigated.
You know, it'd be one of those things too to come back and just kind of fill it out. Be like, and just be like, there's a good old boy in a truck. Let me ask this dude. Hey, you know a Michael Miller?
Didn't even know
Don't
it was
move.
the law.
Yeah.
Hey, get out of your car. Hey. No,
Yeah.
sir.
Whoa, it
sir.
ain't like that.
Hey, this is what happened, sir.
Yeah.
Oh,
Slavery.
Cherry, Johnny Jacobs has said a lot today. Seriously, you guys got to watch the show from the morning. You definitely got to check this one out from the beginning. If this is your first one you're checking out, definitely check out the one of breaking down, going through all of his interviews. You'll see what you're talking about. You could make notes based off of the things that I'm saying in the show, so you can have them. I'm telling you right now, none of this makes sense. And then right here, firecracker, when you're 5 minutes in the slough, I'll count 5 minutes once we start going in the slough, and you tell me what a firecracker sounds like right there, okay? It doesn't make, these people are passing him in the slough going in as he's leaving.
There's a lot of people coming off the river when we were there, but
Or the lake, but not in the slough.
no.
Dude, if you're passing somebody in the slough, you're probably bumping into them, bro.
It's tight. Super tight.
You're probably bumping into them. Let's be real. It is very tight. You might get stuck. You might be helping each other get unstuck.
We're playing bumper boats.
There's a couple times had to push off the tree.
Trolling motor.
Yeah, I mean, what that one, it kicked it out of the water, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because of a log underneath.
I've fished off that before. Let me start telling fishing stories. The way I have my trolling motor set up is just kind of wedged around the corner on the corner of the boat, and I've never had it pop off, even whenever I'm like bass fishing, hitting stuff. This came close, but never did it. That it twisted right off the corner that I had on the boat. So
Boom. I think that's probably in one of the videos that will be uploaded. I don't know if we'll see it tonight, but I know it is in one of the videos that'll be uploaded from either one of us, where you'll see where it kicked it up. You'll probably actually see it as we're going through the slough, because that's one of the videos we're going to show you. We're going to show you the way Johnny went in from Lumber River. He's going down Lumber River. All right, let's see. Hopefully there's some more nuggets in this one here. Firecracker. So I'm going to pause it right there. When you're talking about, you told the officer or the park ranger, hey, park ranger, you know what part of the slough, okay, the path that, you know all the paths, right? He's asking the park ranger if the park ranger knows all the authorized only paths, which is odd to me already. Somehow Johnny knows all the paths and he's wondering if the park ranger knows it. The park ranger says yes, so don't you think they would have found, because if he heard everything happen and he heard it happen just a couple minutes after 2:54 p.m., so don't you think they could have found her body by 3:15 p.m., 3:30 p.m. instead of 4:23 p.m.? And that's when the 911 call came in. They didn't even arrive till 5:30. So Trey, this is another question I have for Johnny. Why didn't you let investigators or local officials know about Micah? Because you allowed Micah's body to sit in water for 2 more fucking hours than she needed to be, sir. For what? That's my biggest question to Johnny. Because you did not tell somebody when you got done loading up your boat and you left to go get your damn lighter, you allowed Micah to lay in fucking water for 2 more hours, bro. But you care about her and you care about her family and all these amazing things on your Facebook post. That's my biggest question, Johnny. I got a lot of them. But my biggest question, bro, is why did you allow Micah to lay there for 2 more hours? I do have one question because when we were out there, we'll get back to this interview in a minute. I do have one question for you, Trey, when it comes to the 2 extra hours. Now, when we were out there in Lumber River and it looked, when your boots on the ground, it looks like it's calm. It looks like there's not a lot of current to it. When your boat's on the water and you're not even using your engine, dude, you're getting pulled back from the current. It's like, holy shit, this is a really strong current, right?
Get pushed around pretty quick.
Okay. Now, this
Like
is my
first-
question.
Go ahead.
So, yes, the blood had pulled to her back, right? Like she was laying on her back. Now, with that current, do you think that if she did fall backward in the water, that with that current inside, that could have then, because he allowed her to lay there for 2 more hours, could her body, do bodies typically just drop down with how they go in, or can they be laying a certain way and because of the current it can actually change? You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're trying to say. Normal, man, I'm not a medical examiner or anything like that. I'm just a gopher diver that's done recoveries. But normally, like whenever the person enters the water, even if it's shallow, they just go to the bottom whenever something like that happens. Sometimes you'll find them in the, well, I'm talking about drownings, so it's a little bit different. Typically, you get pushed to the bottom, and that's where you stay. So the whole popping up really isn't making sense to me.
That where a log would bump into her and then her leg would come up.
Doesn't make sense, because it's not like there's any floating going on at that point. if that
And
makes
it wasn't
sense.
very deep, was it? It was only what? Some of it was what, 2 feet?
Just for reference, like I've had to put people inside. We have a so if you ever seen the corner bags, they're solid.
Yeah.
So the body bags. So on the dive team, we have a mesh bag. It's the exact same thing as the bag for the coroner uses, except ours for mesh with holes, right? So that way you can, as politely as possible, do all that work under the water so no one can see what's going on. So whenever you put someone, you can put someone in the bag, zip them up, and then when you bring them up, they're not exposed. Anyway, so kind of lost my train of thought, but so that's what we use is the mesh bags. What I was trying to say, my point is, sometimes it's hard to get with current and stuff to get the person in the bag because, like, especially in like the river, if you drop them, you always want to mark them because typically their body wants to stay down. If that makes sense. Like,
well, what I'm asking is because if it's true that the blood, right, had went to her back, she was laying on her back,
right,
and they found her face down. So what I'm saying is, based off of the current inside that area, could she have fell backwards and then the current have turned her body around in that couple hour period that Johnny didn't let everybody know, and then the current could have made her body switch to face down when they found her? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there,
based off the current and stuff, you got it. Because if you drop someone in the river when there's a current, there's a chance that you're going to lose where they're at. You're going to have to find them again. So, you could easily get pushed around.
Yeah, because that's been one of the, because before we went out there on a boat, to me, I was like, there's no way that the blood is in this part of the body and she was found face down. The water's stagnant. I was like, there's no way that there's no way that she would have flipped over, right? But as I'm sitting here and we went out there on the trip, the first thing that I thought when I realized about how strong the current was, the first thing that I said to myself was, maybe she did fall backwards. The blood settled in a certain way, and after an hour or hour 1 or hour 1.5 or whatever, her body ended up, because of the current, I didn't realize how strong it was, because of the current, then flipped her face down. So then that would explain the blood and where it was at. And then also the difference of what the blood would be telling you with her body position. And that's why they would have found her face down, because, man, that current, to me, it just seems like, like I said, when we were there, I was like, maybe she did land a certain way. The blood settled in a certain area, and over time, that period of time, the current actually flipped her body over to where she was found the way she was found, face down.
Or if you're getting pushed around by boats.
That's another thing, that doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't the wake from Johnny's boat, why wouldn't the wake from the boat that the 3 people were in the slough going by him to go in there too? Why wouldn't, if a kayaker, the third person that's in there, a kayaker bumps a log and her leg comes up, I mean, how does the wake from the other boats not disrupt? Because she obviously wasn't all the way to the bottom. If you're going to bump a log and then her leg comes up, she wasn't all the way to the bottom. So how did it not get disturbed? Am I saying there's a strong current in the slough? I'm not saying there's a strong current in the slough, but there is a current you don't see. And that's what we're saying, dude. When we're going down there in that boat, it even took us in different directions.
Oh, yeah, it spun us around because
into trees, you guys. Like it literally did. It was taking us in different directions because you have to understand there is water movement in there. It's a little side river that is off the Lumber River. It's a little teeny side river. There is a current to it. And the thing is, there's a lot of debris under there too. And that changes. Think about like a zigzag. It's gonna gain speed the more it goes down that zigzag.
I had to keep the trolling motor powered up. Normally, I could just kind of take my sweet time and go in a place like that, but because of the current, I had to keep the front of the boat under power so that way it would pull the back end where I wanted it to go, or else the current was just going to kick the back end this way, like whatever direction I was going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had to use a trolling motor in there. If you were going to try and row through there, you're having a workout.
Well, especially maybe on a kayak. I mean, there's some guys that go upriver on kayaks.
Like even your boat, man. If we weren't able to use the trolling motor, and we had to use rows, it would have been a workout, man.
We would have got up in there. I'd been better off just not always too much.
Mm-hmm. So it don't make sense at all. Not at all. Especially these stories, the things that he's saying. All right, we're gonna check out some more of this. We'll see if he drops any more little nuggets.
There's like several or a lot of different areas, and she was in an area where it was marked off for, I guess, only personnel or rangers and stuff like that to go into. So I thought okay, now I'm getting confused again because he said the kayaker found the body. Because remember, he said that the kayaker called him by name, said, "Hey, Johnny, it's like a bag, floats in the water." Foot came up, she had debris and log and stuff on her, and so I'm wondering, like, why the kayaker didn't say, "Look, this is where you go find her," and
so you didn't have a clue where she was. You just heard some type of noise crying, and you heard some type of gunshot sound or firecracker. That's it. You just heard everything. Yeah, the kayaker found her. He told me that I heard about it. He told me that I heard about it. I heard my first listen. I wasn't even looking for anybody to be in the water. Or like I said, I didn't know what it really happened. Right. But listen, if she's still in that water, bro, listen to me now.
but he didn't hear a splash. He was close enough to hear her crying, but he didn't hear a splash, and only heard one shot.
I fish all the time, so I can relate.
He didn't hear us. Go ahead.
That's some truth right there.
About the fish?
Yeah, about those little splash. I was hoping it was gators the entire time we were there. Any little splash you do hear, pretty good distance too. There's some truth from Johnny Jacobs for sure. At least that part. If he didn't hear a splash, that is kind of weird. Unless it was,
especially if she fell in the water.
Yeah, because like any little ripple, you can pretty much hear. How many times did I say, "Look, gator"? It was a fish. It was a fish.
I know. And how easy was it to hear all those gunshots too?
Exactly. It wasn't really faint. I mean, there was like faintness to it as far as like being off in the distance, but you definitely heard all the gunshots. You hear the fish flopping and splashing, tree limbs falling from the top, or whatever was falling.
Yeah, people walking through the woods too.
Yeah.
Literally got my binoculars out at one point because I had to look. I'm like, dude, there's too much shit going on. I want to see if there's somebody peeking at us behind a tree or something. I looked all over and then, with them binoculars, man. Definitely sketchy as hell. Let me see here. So that is crazy. He didn't even hear a splash, and he could hear a fish from across the lake. How does that even happen? You don't even.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
You don't even make a sound, and you're in the slough.
Man, if the splashing is that loud with the fish, you think a gunshot that being that close would be loud, not like a firecracker.
For 5 minutes. You're in the slough for about 5 minutes. How does that? All right, we'll check out some more. Maybe he'll drop some more nuggets here.
So I got the fish from here. Body, you know, I would probably, I'm not even there with the yards because I might be said something else. But I know about 50 yards from her. But I just went down there and had a fight this week. And I found out where her body was found this week. Mm-hmm. Where the reef was at, where the family put the reef at. We went out there trying to help, trying to get people, trying to figure out what happened that day. That's all I've been doing, brothers, trying.
But if it was just the unaliving and it was a open shut case or whatever, then why are they out there trying to figure out what happened that day? See where I'm going with this?
You think I'd be getting on TikTok and things like that? And I admit I'm already talking way too much. I said I was going to quit it. And I'm an innocent man. I know things is it looks mighty strange about this stuff as far as me going to but she had $500. It might have been a little bit more than I didn't ask the one how much was there. I told him I counted at 500 and I quit.
But counted it.
He counted to 500 and he quit.
Yeah. I counted to 500 and I quit.
So it could have been 1,000.
Why is it so always challenging? Every little, even the tiniest detail, like the simplest detail, changes. Everything changes. Everything keeps changing. So I don't even know what's
Counted
what.
to 500 and I quit.
No.
It could have been 1,500. Who knows? Hey, every bit of 500 was in that purse. I got to the 500 limit and I kept the rest, my friend.
Yeah, that's all I need.
I kept the rest. Who's going to think that I stole any money if $500 was in the purse, right? They don't know that 1,500 was in the purse. I'm just going to tell everybody 500 was in the purse. Every bit of it. Why would you not count the rest after 500? You know what I'm saying? To me, that tells me 500 was the amount where you said, you know what, everybody's going to believe that I didn't take anything. 500 was the limit. As long as I can make it, if I got, I'm at 500 and there's all this cash here sitting here, boom, I took the rest. Yep, every bit 500. Oh, well, he couldn't have taken the money. There was $500 in there. Surely if he was going to steal the money, he would have took some of the 500. That dude took whatever was beyond the 500. That dude took it. Why would you quit counting money if you're going to count it, bro?
Yeah, I know that.
Because if you're going to turn it in, aren't you going to tell the officer, yeah, there's such and such money in there?
Yeah. That way, there's no.
So they know that you didn't steal it because they're going to count it when they take it, and they're going to count the money in there, and they're going to be like, How much money was in there? It was about this much. Oh, okay, we just wanted to make sure.
Like, I have
They're,
no idea.
they're gonna ask you, see if you
Yeah,
slip up. To see
there's
if you
the
slip.
there's the two things: you don't touch nothing, or you count everything, or you go through it all. Either all or nothing. This is my book
Why would you count it?
because I need some money.
That's his limit, $500.
It's like saying, "Here's the Easter egg. Here's $500. We'll leave that in there. That's a good amount."
Yeah, we don't need credit cards. Those are traceable. You'll find all the credit cards you want in there. Those are traceable. Cash? Shit. Just because they might have a receipt from the bank doesn't mean they didn't spend it somewhere, right?
So I want to know combination between the belongings. He needed a lighter, okay. He needed it for his smokes, but at what point did he go switch vehicles?
I think when he went home to bust open the lock.
Yeah, that's
The lock that she had on her fanny pack. I think he went home to bust it open. If not, I think he was meeting somebody that was getting in or going to bust it open to get in to that lock compartment, because I feel that lock compartment had the flash drive that Micah was holding the whole time. That she wasn't, the stuff that JP was trying to collect. That's why he took all of her stuff, because he tried to figure out everything that she had on him, because she was getting ready to expose him. All the financials and all the foolery that was taking place, and that's why he was trying to blame it all on her.
there's going to be
She was getting ready to expose him, and she had a lot of documents, probably a lot of pictures. You can't have everything, when you're talking about collecting information like that, it's going to be a lot of photos. You're doing your own special ops work, taking photos of documents that there's not supposed to be a copy of, or stuff like that, when you're trying to expose that kind of shit. And I feel like that's what was in that locked part of her fanny pack. Why do you not turn it in when you're leaving?
Oh yeah, it was a lot easier.
How much longer you got, buddy, tonight? I want to make sure we can get through our footage before you got to take off. How much longer you got, bro?
We got about 40 minutes.
Okay, let's go ahead and get into the footage. We'll get into the rest of this interview here in the future, but very interesting tidbit stuff. We'll get into it in the next show. I want to say shout out to Veronica. Thank you for doing that. All right, we're going to share some of these videos here with you. And let's see. So we're going to show you Johnny Jacobs' path according to his story. Now, he said he was going down Lumber River, came into the lake, and into the slough. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get these ready. And let's see. I'm going to get these ready, and I'm going to show you the exact path on Google before we actually get into the video. Hold on. All right, so that's at the beginning. But first, let me bring this up. All right, so we're going to go to Lumber River State Park.
Definitely make it easier to understand.
Okay. So now you got if you can see it, okay, let me see. Let me make it bigger here. Hold on. All right, so you got the Lumber River State Park right here. Okay. You got the slough, and this is basically the path. Here, let me start it over. This is basically the path that Johnny says he was going as he came across Micah. So right there. So here is the slough right here. Over here is where Micah was found. Now he's telling you that he was traveling down Lumber River, came into the lake, and then went into the slough. Now he told you in most of his stories, he told you that it was about 5 minutes that he was in the slough, and then he heard the faint crying, the gunshot stops, and then you've heard all of the different versions of crying, gunshots, the sounds, how loud it was, how soft it was. Now we're actually going to show you with the video here the path of what it looks like as you're going in there.
You must have really been snooping, you know, for him to come back here like this. You really had to be snooping. There's so many obstacles and...
The trees literally come out
Yeah, we should.
through the water.
Back.
The trees literally come out through the water. Now just wait until we get into the slough. Trees inside.
Yeah, this is the path that the route that he was taking, pretty much.
Coming down Lumber River, just like we showed you on that map.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so...
Try and scoot it up a little bit.
Up underneath there. It was bubbling.
Gators. So this is what that looks like as you're coming around. You're going down Lumber River. All right, now let's go to this video.
Alright, so here's where the fisherman heard the gunshot.
Right in. We do with the boat. I'm telling you. They got good paint though. Mine looks like I actually live here.
Observation deck is off to the left. Now, I'm going to pause it right here. You can see the middle of the screen to the right. If you go straight back there, that's where the cement bags were at when I went back there during that one time and I came across those cement bags. The slough is in the middle, off and to the left. Now, he claims in one interview that he heard the shots from way in the crying from way back here, but in most of the interviews, he's telling you he heard them 5 minutes after he gets into the slough, about 5 minutes. Look at the difference. I'm going to rewind it. Look at the difference from when he tells you he heard it to News Nation and when he tells where he heard it to everybody else. Observation deck to the left. See how calm that water looks? There's a big current. Big current.
They got good paint though. Mine looks like I actually live here.
The camera makes it look like that opening is huge,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not.
That's what it's showing, man.
That way.
Yeah. I don't see how.
Yeah, plugged in. Or lit up.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if it's a camera charge or not.
I don't know, man.
So now we're getting ready to get into the slough. Now you heard all the way back there where he said he heard it. Now he also said, "Oh, I heard it in the slough too." 5 minutes in the slough. Now we're just getting into the beginning stages of the slough.
Everything's flowing out of there.
Because if he was able to drive his boat through here,
We're in 3 foot of water.
3 foot. 3 foot right
basically
there.
where I walk, is you end up right there.
On the other side.
Yeah, after all going through those trails, you end up right, like literally, right over there. I really don't see how he could have got his boat through here.
4 foot. That's weird.
4 foot.
You got that tree right in front of you, man. Something's sticking out right there. Big log.
Big log.
Big log, right to our left.
Oh yeah.
It ain't happening.
Debris all over.
I mean, unless he... He had to have walked where...
So if you want to tell him, Trey, what we were doing, we were backing up.
So I was backing up because I had my motor super, was pretty much just I could get it, but pretty darn high, so I wouldn't hit any prop. Like at that point, after seeing how shallow it was getting, it must have been like, but everything was like 3 foot and shallower, and then you could see the tree or the log running across. So I was like, okay, I was like, I'm gonna have to back out. I was like, we can try it. I was like, I'm gonna put the motor up, and they're like, we'll get the trolling motor out because I can't, I don't want to hit the motor because you will 100% hit one of these trees with like the knuckles, because the roots off those trees, like at least whenever I was in Florida, they'll branch out in the water. So plus the stumps and everything else. So you don't want to be in there with your motor because you'll hit your prop.
Mm-hmm. You'll bang it up real good.
You can do damage to the lower end if you're not careful. So we ended up getting the turbo motor out.
Yep, and that's why we ended up backing up. You're going to see it's going to be a different camera angle because we kind of had to switch it up at the last minute. But we're still, you're still going to get like a front row seat to it. And we're going to be going into this tomorrow night as well. And so we'll be able to go through a lot of the other footage that we won't be able to go into tonight. And I can't wait to have a panel tomorrow night because all of us to have a discussion on this, what we're, showing tonight and what we'll show you as a little treat tomorrow. So here's just a little bit of us backing out and you're going to see us go in there. Just wait.
It ain't happening.
I mean, unless he...
This is so crazy, you guys.
He had to have...
All these notes, and this is the story he's telling you, people. When you see this footage, I'm sorry. And how do you,
Just
right,
showing all
Teresa?
different angles here,
How
right?
do you see a fanny pack on the
I mean, it
bank?
looks like, man, I don't know though. I mean,
All
the
the
only spot we
triangles
could
together.
really get in, I think, is right there.
Yes, it doesn't make any sense. Now, when you listen to his statements, I was afraid, and man, you don't just going on in there checking on this and that, and this is Robinson County and blah blah blah. You're gonna go in there. You're already 5 minutes in. Now, where'd you hear the crying, bro? Because we were only in there for 20 seconds. All right. Now we're gonna show you how long it takes when you're talking 5 minutes once we switch it up and we get in there. Now, also, you're going to tell me that somebody was inside the slough. The 3 people on the boat were passing you as you were exiting that slough? Tell me, how in the hell do you 2 people not run into each other? Your story don't make sense, man. Story don't make sense.
It wasn't even open like this. It was. You were basically surrounded by all this. It might have been that. Because I don't see any other place you could have pulled the boat over and got out and started walking. And his boat.
All right, let me back up. Hold on. All right, this is when we had to kind of change everything. So this is when he was hooking up the troll motor, getting ready to use it. That tarp was amazing.
It was nice.
It was like air conditioning in there. It was great.
What's wild is I even had the trolling motor. I was not, I didn't put it directly down. I had it at a very high angle. Or no, maybe I did put it down. I can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, I bet I did put it down. No, I had it up. And I still hit the DLC. There's the current. That wouldn't get much thrust from having the trolling motor up like that.
Shit.
Whoa.
I'm just trying not to hit it, bottom stuff out.
Look, Johnny's story. If you missed the breakdown earlier, like I said, watch the breakdown. And this show tonight and even tomorrow night, it will enhance your understanding of what you're seeing and what he's saying and how it don't make no damn sense.
No boat. Like, I just don't see it.
All right, here we go.
Especially, I know he didn't get up in here in his big boat. It just did not happen. Especially with that being an inboard.
Very tight, RC. Tight, shallow. You heard him in different spots, 3 feet, 4 feet. We just hit something. That's when your motor, your trolling motor popped up. That's what you were saying right there.
Yep. Which I was running it up higher, which would have made it a little bit more difficult to get past the current because you're not getting much thrust because it's just literally chopping the water. But I had to do that so I wouldn't bot everything. As soon as I tried to run it down, I was running everything. I was still hitting stuff, running at an angle. But
And hopefully, is it okay? There's no damage to it.
it's an old turtle motor. Well, it's not old, but it works as it should. I'm rough on equipment.
Yeah, because you can hear it. Watch it, guys. You can hear it. It's like, crank.
Like, I just don't see it.
Oh, the bracket's bent. The threads are bent.
The threads are bent. Oh,
Yeah,
for the bracket when it
current.
came off.
Yeah, because I guess it popped. it vented out. But still, I mean, it still works.
It got noose when it knocked it out right there.
Especially, I know he didn't get up in there his big boat. It just did not happen. Especially with that being an inboard.
Right there. And if he did, he had a hell of a skinny boat, or he just pulled over off to the side here.
So that's the current pushing us back, by the way. That wasn't trolling up.
There ain't no way.
Thank you, Teresa.
Shallow as fuck river.
Mm-hmm. Got a lot of footage. We're just showing you a little bit.
I see nobody else going up there in the boat.
Nope. Dude, nobody else has done what we did. Nobody else has done this. And when it comes to this whole story, and I understand there's people out there that feel like I'm not saying he did anything. What I'm saying is there's a lot of damn questions and you contradict yourself.
Yep.
And you place yourself at the scene.
If you take away everything else, everything that happened, and you just make it kind of simple, it's like, why did just as simple as why would you take someone's belongings out of that area and then return past the police, ask someone else a question about the person's belongings, and then to find out they're law enforcement? Like, if you just take away everything else just to kind of make it cut and dry as far as just someone's property, that don't even make sense in itself unless you had different intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make it, dumb it down.
No, it's like the whole time we were there, he was determined, man. As we're going through, and really, you guys are going to see the path and all that stuff. We took you the route he said he took and how he walked around and looked. Okay, we did that. We retraced Johnny Jacobs on the frickin' boat, and when he got to the shore. Nobody else has done that.
And as you're watching, just look at the terrain. Just kind of like look at the actual ground compared to the water, and then like the brush and stuff, and just tell me how much you're actually seeing. Just
That's why we thank you so much for your guys' support, whether it's through super chats, memberships, super stickers, cash apps, Venmos. Thank you so much for all you guys' support, because it allows us to be able to not only go out there, because it takes a special person to be able to go out there, have that awareness, put yourself in dangerous situations to help the truth and justice come alive when it comes to these cases. And without you guys' support, this is why we take the footage, not only to document for our safety in case something does take place and it is documented, but also so we can take you there like we are tonight, so you can understand what we're understanding. So when we tell you what we're telling you while we're up here on panel or discussing parts of these cases, you really truly see, and it's the best that we can do for your support in return, is take you. We know you can't be there. We know that you care so much, and that's why we want to take you there, because it's absolutely important that everybody understands the totality of these stories. We haven't even gone to the spot yet, and it don't make sense.
They had no.
Even right here, and we're not even there.
So normally I wouldn't even be going that fast. But I mean, because of the current, I was just trying to get up in there. As soon as I would let off, the back end of the boat would swing around.
Just hit something else.
Yeah.
There's a lot of debris down there. I'm not saying he did, he was a part of it. I'm saying he's got a lot of gaps to fill in and a lot of questions to answer. See, we're getting a little stuck again. Getting a little stuck again.
You must have really been determined if you're going.
See, I just kept saying it.
Through here.
You must have been determined, bro. You must have been determined. Yes, it was, Lisa. It was found approximately 40 to 50 yards away from her body. Her feet. You can see both sides, you guys. It's not that wide.
Narrow.
Very narrow, very shallow.
There's the flowers.
That's, I'm showing you right
You see
there.
'em?
Right here.
Yep.
I'm showing you and I do in all the videos, I'm showing you screenshots, or not screenshots, but I'm showing you where we are located as we are getting into the areas that we are getting into and all the different footage that we take.
There's the flowers.
You see
There's
them?
the flowers
Yep.
right there.
They wash down,
Yeah.
so it's up in here.
So there's the flowers right there. Unfortunately, from the hurricane, it got tipped over and it got moved a little bit. But they're right there. Yeah, if you go back on this here, let me go to this screenshot that I put, or the map that I pulled up. You'll see how it actually separates it. Okay. See right there how there's a part of it. Now, if you zoom in, there's a part of it that you don't see that actually connects around. So we're going back here, and it's just a little teeny path off of the river. See what you're seeing? You got the lake, then you got that little river that goes up through there. Now we're off to the left, obviously. See how we're like going down, but we're in a spot where the connection isn't that great. So it's not like we're pinpointed. If really that dot should be over to the right some more, and my phone, it's like turned around in a different way. So
They just tripped it.
the GPS is all wacky, but it's giving you an approximate spot, which is pretty damn close. It's just slightly off just because of, you know, the boonies out there.
You see them?
Right here.
Yep.
They wash down,
Yeah.
so it's up in here.
That's not very wide from left to right. How does your wake from your boat or other boats not disturb her before the kayaker?
A kayak up. A kayak would go through here easily, just kind of just bounce around. But as soon as you go in here in a boat, it just don't make sense to the kayak was.
Yeah, because the two boats should have disturbed her more than the kayaker would have.
Yeah.
Especially with how we're going. And right there, you see from left to right, it's not that big. You're telling me you, just like he said, Charles said, dude, you had to have seen her. You went right by her.
If not over.
You had to have seen her. Because remember, if you just bump her and her foot comes up, remember when we were looking down, it's mucky root beer water. But you can still see for a good foot and a half before it just disappears. I would think that somebody, if they're next to a log like that, their foot would have been visible in that water if you're looking down. Now you can't see it as you're looking at the footage. I do turn it, I do have different clips. We probably won't watch them, but I'll be uploading them. There are different clips where I look down at the water so you can see the trees and different things like that. But when you're looking at this angle, there's a lot on camera. There's a lot of reflection, when you're actually in the boat looking down, not at an angle, but looking straight down, you can actually see inside the water a good foot and a half. So this is us coming up to the spot. Now we passed where she was at. This is us coming up to the spot where he would have put his boat and got out and found the items.
Yeah, because I remember that tree right there.
Which one, the apple one?
Right in front of us.
Oh, it's right here.
Right here where she found?
Yeah. Yeah, the memorial is right up there.
Was this tree down?
I don't know, man. I'll have to look at that footage. Yep. We could park here for a minute and we can double check, but yeah, this is
I'll park up over there.
Then see that little part right there?
Knuckles.
Yeah, because right around here.
Okay, so here's us.
So right around here.
So here's us getting on the boat, off the boat. Oops, hold on. That was just a couple second clip. Here we go.
So this is the spot. So right around here is where the items were found. And then more up this trail over here. So there's multiple. See, I'm going to rewind this. Look at how small that area is. Look at how small that area is right there. So this is.
I was saying when we were on the boat, the camera made it look wide for some reason. There's not that much. Like there's water, obviously, but it's not that wide.
That's it.
It's super narrow.
That's it. And the path to get in there was even narrower. It doesn't make sense. That's how tight and shallow this area is. It's where the items were found. And then more up this trail over here. Dude, that canopy looks, so there's multiple. It just matches, man. Are you gonna put some different colors on it and stuff?
I started painting my poles.
Nice.
I had to wait. I got to figure out how I want to lay it, but I was just tired. I did it whenever I unpacked everything. I started.
Oh yeah.
Though. But I'm gonna
Oh yeah, man.
I'm gonna get something and taper a little bit and take my time and make
Yeah.
even everything up. But it's so nice.
Oh yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no problem. No problem. You do,
You can see the
was
sonar now. You're not
yeah.
just baking in the sun for 8 hours at 3 mile an hour.
Electronics ain't overheating. It was just my little gift to you, man. I just wanted to say thank you for all that you do, and I wanted to do something special for you, buddy.
I appreciate it because even in the rain, like it would have been. I think even if I really wanted to, if it was like raining, I could put a tarp over the top of that or something. So,
yeah.
I mean, even that's going to keep a lot of the rain off. I just got to make sure I taper it right whenever I get it.
Dude, it looks good. You know, we just need to figure out a different way to flip them corners up or whatever. But y'all, I'm telling you that tarp right there is a game changer for the comfort, for the electronics, for the production, for the awareness. It helps keep us, camouflaged as well. I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be and it's for the future. You know what I mean? It's for everything. For everything that for the future, man. It's just it was something that I thought about when we were out on that boat. I felt bad I couldn't bring Kitty with me, and I was like, man, I gotta build him a fucking canopy for his boat, dude.
That's being in a sauna.
I felt bad not being out there with you on that second day because I had the kitty, the kitty sitter bounced on me the next day. She was too much of a handful. She is hell on wheels, y'all. Yeah, I felt bad, and so it was like, you know what? I gotta build you a fucking canopy, man. That way you have, some kind of comfort out there because, dude, the heat alone, not only for your energy, like you said, you were out there before you made it out to Myrtle Beach. You were out there. You were dehydrated. You were, sick feeling. You know what I'm saying?
One day where I was like, I either need to go to the hospital and get fluids and cool down. I think if I could just get I had another vehicle to dive on. I was like, I can just get in the water and I think I'll be okay. But even like getting my stuff together, I'm like, instead of things just coming to you, you actually have to. Like it'll take you a minute to do basic tasks. So I was trying to get the gear on, and I'm like, getting everything on, and I barely made it out to the car. I dropped down, and I took extra time just so I could have that much more time in the water. And when I came up, I was just like, oh yeah. I was like, I felt 10 times better, and then it was cool, and then I was hydrated, and then the rest of the day went smoother. But I definitely got way too hot, like probably close to heat stroke or something.
Yeah.
I drink I would start off with 5 drinks in the morning, like Gatorade, Powerade, a little bit of Sprite, water, and then I took 2 electrolyte containers with me at Gatorade. Made it not even 2 miles downriver, and I drank everything, and then I was dehydrated. So the top is a blessing. Well, thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
You would be surprised how much that I guess helps, but.
Dude, I'm telling you, we didn't even sweat. We didn't even sweat when we were out there after the canopy. After the canopy was up, we left the poles up. We got everything tightened up. We went out there. When we loaded up the boat, that's when because the canopy is removable. So that way he can take it down and pack it up and then take it out and, it can be removed. Even the pieces can be dismantled if he needs to take them down and assemble them later. It's one of those that you could just take down. So seriously, like when we were out there, dude, the only electronics that overheated was the freaking GoPro, and that's just normal shit no matter what. So that's but other than that, dude, I didn't sweat. I was comfortable. I don't even remember us drinking a lot of water or nothing, man. It was really comfortable.
2 bottles of water the entire time we were out there, and that was slow.
Yeah.
So a big difference.
Oh yeah, and the electronics, the no overheating. It was
the boat
great.
wasn't hot. You could lean and touch stuff without burning yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, big time. So, yeah, for sure. And it's going to help in all them future searches too, because we got a lot of work to do still together.
Punch.
On the with the boots and the boats, we got a lot of work together to do. More to come, especially for Sebastian. Shout out to Dog the Bounty Hunter. He's joining. We'll be getting into Sebastian stuff tomorrow morning. So if you all are not busy, come hang out in the morning. We'll be talking all the updates with Sebastian Rogers, and we will be going out to search more soon. Doesn't mean we're not going to be doing Micah shows and we're not going to be investigating into the Micah case, but we're also going to be searching at the same time. While we do that, we just got done doing a lot of work for Micah. We still have more to do. We can do that work from our desks while we continue to investigate. While we got this work out of the way, now we need to take our physical efforts and bring them down for more Sebastian searches, because this young man really needs found. And I feel like with a lot of the attention that it's getting, you got Dog joining, you got the reward doubling now. I really feel like something is going to break, man. And I feel like we need to be there. We need to be there to help in this effort that we started way back in. I know we started way back in February, March, March, middle of March, beginning of March, somewhere around there, beginning of March is when we started. We met you. I think it was like February, right?
I can't remember.
Or I mean April. I think it was like April.
I think it was April. It was literally right after Riley's strain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Because you guys were down there for Riley's strain at the same time too. Yeah.
YouTube is the weirdest thing. When it comes to stuff like that. I was pulling a car out of the water, something unrelated, and all of a sudden people are in the chat. I have no idea where these people came from. And they're like, we need the divers. We need you in Nashville. And I'm like, what? Like that word? Like, no, I had to I'll have to look all this up. April 6th. So super early April. So it would have been before that when people started bombarding our lives.
Oh yeah, they were doing it. Yeah, it was like the last 2 days because we were still searching for Riley Strain. It was before he was found, and there was people reaching out to us too. And then the day that they got the dog hit was the last day we were down there searching for Riley, and the very next day after the dog hit is when we were in Hendersonville starting our Sebastian searches. So from way back then, the day after the dog hit is when we started. So we're gonna be pushing hard. Another go about it. April 6th. Thank you, Busby. Man, that's a long time. Dude. That's crazy. 5 months, pretty much, almost. That's nuts, bro. That's crazy when you think about it. 5 months we've been doing work together. That's crazy. It doesn't even seem like that long, even though it has been.
It feels like a long time as far as like my energy levels, but it doesn't feel like it's been that much time has passed.
I just feel like we got so much more to do, man. So much more to do.
It's a really long time.
Yeah, we did. We went 2 different times. Yep.
There's some undisclosed times.
Yes, that too. And we'll be doing that.
Keeping it low key. That's sad because the more time that goes on, the harder it is. People obviously know that, but I'm hoping. It's one of those freaking. It's shitty in a way, but money. Like I said, this I don't even know what live I was on, but money talks. And I think a lot of people will be coming forward. You'll have the crazies out in left field coming out with information, trying to get that money. But someone probably knew something, but now that there's money involved, they'll say something.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the thing with us. It's never been about the money. We were doing the searches before it was a cool thing to do.
Now
we were out there.
Spider-Man and
it's not about the money.
And people out there. I'm just saying characters, but literally characters out there searching. And that's where people get mad when I say circle searches. And it's like fake searches, in my opinion, just the truth.
That's what they are.
It's the equivalent of me stepping outside with a shovel, which is like sickening. and saying I'm looking for Sebastian. But like it just, and then these people are getting praised by. They're putting a lot of energy to do what they're doing, but they're making it look good, and somehow people are thankful for what they're doing, which is weird. Like
it doesn't make
twisted
sense to me, man. When it takes the amount of funding that it takes for us to be able to just to get there and do what we're doing, the amount of funding that it takes. And you're right, it doesn't make sense to me because these people that do that shit get so much fucking funding. It's crazy when it's like, y'all, if you just put your money where people actually use it effectively, can you imagine how much more you would get for your money? You know what I mean? Even the people that are just making a shit ton of money by mudslinging with other people on YouTube.
That's why I tried to tone that.
You know what I mean? You're supporting that instead of supporting people that actually go out there, do the work, give the effort, sacrifice themselves. They go beyond the desk and they're there to make a difference.
Yeah, they're not just.
I'll never understand it, bro. I'll never understand it. But shout out to the community because without you, we wouldn't even be able to show you this. So this is the path that Johnny parked his boat. This is where he walked around. No, this is a path he says was led straight to Micah. And if you listen real closely, you can hear, and I'm sure you'll see with the cameras, we got GoPro, we got other footage to upload for you when it comes to different tiers and stuff. But right here, you will literally hear these bugs.
Oh, man.
How bad they are.
You're probably going to hear a little bit of cussing, a little bit of...
Probably. Cameras shaking, shirts flying.
Yeah.
Here we go. Check it out, y'all. It's crazy. Now, I'm going to be walking in between where she was and where her items were found. And then more up this trail over here. So there's multiple trails that are coming back here. And then further on down all the trails. Oh, here's the bugs.
I can hear them.
Man, these bugs. Oh. See, we had to walk. I had to walk away. Not that this fixed it, but I had to literally, in my mind, I'm like, let me go back to the boat. They won't get so bad. All right, let me try it again. It was this bad.
The fisherman got his boat back to you. Rubber John. So very small boat. That's why I got it. For stuff like
you
this.
see them flying all over.
I dive off that boat, but it's got a super shallow draft. So my question is, what kind of boat was he actually using?
And he was very determined.
Just to clarify, like nothing happened, nothing's going on.
So right here, again, where the belongings were.
Is this where her belongings were?
Yeah.
So I guess.
No, the skin so soft was not helping.
I think it made it worse.
No, man, we needed to douse ourselves in it. And I don't even think dousing ourselves would have done it because when I was wiping the bugs were going like, you know, the greasy skin so soft. I could feel the bugs on the skin so soft. Like they didn't give a shit. They were like, they didn't care.
I would use a D.
Dude, Listen, the skin so soft worked at the court hearing just fine. This was I don't know, man.
I honestly never went easy.
Yeah, it was bad, dude. This is it was the worst.
The one time I didn't bring my bug spray.
And we even
It
had
was
skin
bad.
so soft on too.
It was bad.
Sure, well, my long sleeve shirt. If I'd have known this.
All right, and after we walk around and show you this, I'm going to show you when we left the slough as well.
This is the authorized personnel only. You guys can probably hear the freaking bugs. Here's more of it.
I don't know how you don't disrupt her body when you're going through there with a boat. I don't know how you notice I don't know how you notice a black fanny pack on the side.
Not in and out, not that quick. Dude, I was standing next to a pair of shoes the other day, literally on top of them, and didn't even see them until my brain was like, "Yo, what is that?" Like literally.
I see you throwing your head around. Yeah, these bugs, yo.
This bug is not this bad in Kentucky.
This is crazy.
Bottom lands.
It was bad. It was so bad. But we had to do it. We had to take you there. We had to show you what Johnny was talking about.
So yeah, he said it was right off the path. If you
Bunch
know
of
the path
BS.
back here, it was right off the path, which it was. But you'd really have to go walking. Really have to go walking for that. Doctor told me that when you're walking back, if you're like walking the path,
Yeah.
that she said everybody in her group, family that came out here to see where she was at, she said every one of them ruined their shoes because they had to walk through this water, and luckily there wasn't any alligators. Now it's a lot higher than it was before.
Oh, man.
She
I
even
can hear
warned me
him.
about
Making
alligators.
me itch.
Right?
Like a
One
response.
of those paths that is kind of
Ugh.
covered up
Nails
from
on a
water. You have to
chalkboard.
walk through the water to get back here. So that
Deja
certain
vu.
path to get back here, to get back to all these paths here. So
So all these are
yeah, and so her stuff was here,
These are
and then she was all the way down here.
You still here?
Teresa, we were in the sleuth before we got here, and when you see us going up in there, it's the only place you can really park the boat is right there. So you're almost led there because really that's the only place you can park the boat and get out. So it kind of, you can't see it when you're going in, but as you get into that general area, past where her body was at, then you can start to see it off to the left because that's really the only place you could park your boat. And we're going to show you what it's like when you leave too. We'll get into some different footage tomorrow night. We're going to have a panel show, inviting different content creators up, and we're all going to talk about this
You can
whole
see that
story.
There's a tree that's kind of fallen down.
All right, you only got just a few more minutes. Let me kind of scoot it up a little bit.
You can see that
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it to where we're getting in the boat and we're taking off. Oh, hold on.
yeah, he was definitely determined to get back here, dude.
And there was less water then, for sure.
Definitely.
Especially before the hurricane.
Definitely.
Okay, hold on. Was that the next one?
Sure told me that.
Oh, okay, hold on. All right, so I must have started to record it right after we already got in the boat and took off. So this is us leaving the slough.
Installation.
How are you passing somebody through here?
Did we go right or left?
Narrow. Super narrow.
And so if you're looking this direction, if you flip it around, I don't think you could see it, but again, you can rewind the show. You can see as we're going in. You can see as you're getting back there, it's basically the only place you can park.
Right to come in, left.
See all this debris? And you're trying to be like not noticed. You're trying to be incognito.
Fucking mosquitoes.
Oh, I know.
Make that a ringtone. Fucking mosquitoes. That's a Kid Rock song. That's a Kid Rock song.
You're good.
No, Teresa. Me and Tom S went in a completely different area than what me and Trey went through. That's why I wasn't even answering that question. Because if you look at that footage and you know what video that was, it has nothing to do with the work that me and Trey were doing. Nobody has done this work right here. Nobody, except for me and Trey.
I hadn't seen anything else anywhere.
So no, you're thinking of something completely different part.
Oh, you really?
That's like maybe a third of the way down the path, Teresa. So that's way back then.
We gotta be determined to get back there. Period.
There's more water in there now.
And if you're really scared to be going up on somebody, like he claims, I don't think you're going all the way back through all this.
That was actually the first day that we met him when he claimed that he was, in Micah's life. And when I talked to people that were in Micah's life, they said no, he wasn't in Micah's life. And when I heard that, I didn't need to associate with that particular individual anymore, because you shouldn't be telling somebody you're about something when you're really not.
Going all the way back through all this shit, man. Because then what if you do come across something? How quick are you going to get out of there without making a bunch of racket?
So right there, we're exiting. So that's when we're going in back into the lake. Off to the right, you got the observation deck.
Yep.
There's up right there.
Right there.
And then there's the observation deck.
Straight back there, and we'll go ahead and remove this so you can see it without the without the watermark there. Straight back, observation deck. Now, when you go and you listen, like I said, you listen to the breakdown, you actually you go to the beginning of this episode, you hear the stuff we're discussing right there. I'm sorry. You don't make sense. Your story don't make sense. We'll be getting more into it tomorrow night. We'll be having a panel show, going into some different footage. Trey, I want to say thank you, buddy. Appreciate all you do.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you, and thanks for taking the time out tonight. It was hard for us to wait. Trust me, we wanted to bring it to you ASAP, but we also wanted to make sure that we were rested and could give the full energy that it deserved.
There's still a lot to go over.
Yeah,
there's a bunch to break down. Just kind of having the time to do it, especially on my end. So thanks for working with me.
No, thank you for working with me, man. Busby, shout out. It's a great team. We've been a great team for these 5 months now, and we got a lot more things to do in the future for the victims and the families and the communities. So we're going to say good night to everybody. Thank you again, man. Sorry we went just a few minutes longer. We will be back tomorrow night. More Micah. Back tomorrow morning. Sebastian. We'll be talking Sebastian. Come hang out with us tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Central. And tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Central. And I'll be sending out invites to y'all tonight who I'm going to invite. And I can't wait to see y'all tomorrow night. And I know baby Kitty can't either. She's napping again. I love her so much. Appreciate you. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow 2 times. Appreciate you. Good night, everybody.
See you.
Can you let a supervisor know that I have a case report with an arrest attached?